So in this video, I'm going to talk about something called the compound interest formula. This is not a formula you have to memorize. What you do need to know are the pieces of it so you understand where to put all of the information. So the compound interest formula starts off with A. Well, A is your ending balance, okay? That's equal to P, which is sometimes referred to as the principal or your beginning balance. Okay, we're going to take that, we're going to multiply your principal, your beginning balance, times 1 plus R. R is your rate. Now, we talked about rate a little bit in our first unit. So make sure that when we're talking about these rates that you're converting the decimals to, or the percentages to decimals to use them in this formula. All right, then we have N, and if you notice, N actually shows up in this problem. I'm going to zoom in just a touch. N shows up twice. Okay, you're going to take your rate divided by N, and then in the exponent, you're going to take N times your T value. Now, what is N? N is the number of times that you are compounding the interest per year. All right. Now, some bank accounts will do something called continuously compounding, which this does not account for. But you might have an interest account where the account is accruing by month. You could have an account that's accruing weekly interest, daily interest. You can have an account that's accruing interest per second. So it's the number of times it's compounded per year. T is the nice one. T is what you kind of think it is. T is time, but very specifically, it's time in years. Okay, so make sure that you know those pieces. The actual formula itself, you don't have to memorize. All right, so problem number 3 says we're using this formula and we are looking for what annual rate should be, there's an extra letter in there somewhere, a word in there. We're going to do $1,000 invested so that it will double in 10 years if compounded quarterly. Okay, lots of information going on. So we're initially investing $1,000. Okay, so that 1,000 goes in place of P. And I'll fill in some of the other information as we go. So we want to double it. So that means our final balance would be $2,000. Okay. Our rate is what we don't know. Now, compounded quarterly means that you are going to compound 4 times a year. Okay. Every quarter of the year. So then your NT, you'd have 4 times your T value here is, we're going to let it be for 10 years. Okay. So now I need to solve this thing. We've got everything filled in except for our R value. So let's start solving it. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 1,000. So that's going to get me 2 is equal to 1 plus R over 4 to the 40th. Wow. All right, now this is where a calculator is going to come in handy, okay? Let me see if I can. All right, I'm going to split screen with Desmos. I'm going to see if I can push it over just a little bit. I can't. All right, so let me clear that out. All right, so I need to take the 40th root of both sides here. Okay, now on the right side, it's easy. The 40th root and the 40th power cancel. The left side, okay. So in your math function, you should have an nth root. So in this case, I'm going to hit 5 here. Now, my cursor, it's really hard to see, but it's up above the root, I believe, right now. So there's my little 40. It's really hard, I know. I'm going to go ahead and tap into, there we go, into the actual square root, and we're going to hit 2. So that's going to give me the 40th root of 2. All right, so on my paper, I'm just going to write down 1.017 and a whole bunch of stuff. So this is equal to 1 plus R over 4. And now I'm still trying to solve for R. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this answer in my calculator and just keep working with it until the very end when I'll do my rounding. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this 1. So I'm going to subtract 1. All right, so -1. So clearly it's going to give me 0.017 and stuff. Okay, equals r over 4. To get r by itself now, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Okay, and on my calculator, right, I haven't cleared this, right? I still want to leave this. So I'm going to hit times 4. So this gives me a rate, okay? It tells me that r is equal to 0.06991 and some more. Now, that rate is fabulous, but what I want to do is convert that decimal to a percent. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 100. And so this is going to tell me, oh, hold on a second. Does it say how to round it? I'm going to go ahead and use the rounding that we had in the last problem, which was to 3 decimal places. So our rate here is equal to 6.992%. Okay, so depending on what decimal you're asked to round to, just make sure it's appropriate for that decimal. Okay. All right, so problem number 3 is all done. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for problem number 4. In problem number 4, we are starting with $500. We're going to triple it. We're investing at 6% compounded monthly. Okay, so I'm going to start with 500, right? 1 plus, my rate is 6%, so that becomes 0.06 over compounded monthly. Well, how many months in a year? Well, 12, okay? And the power here is going to be 12t. It's NT. And remember that we wanted to take our $500 and triple it. Well, tripling 500 turns it into 1,500. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on just the equation so I get a chance to actually solve it here. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 500. So 1,500 divided by 500 is 3, which if you think about it being tripled, makes sense. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this whole parentheses here and just figure out what that is. So 1 plus 0.6 divided by 12. So this is going to equal 1.005 raised to the 12t power. Yeah, well, that looks like fun. So what we need to do is apply our exponent rules with logarithms. All right, we're going to take the log of both sides. So we're going to have log 3 is equal to, that 12t is going to fly in front. So 12t log 1.005. To get t by itself, we're going to divide by 12 and the log of 1.005. So 12 log of 1.005. So that 12, that log is gone. And then this mess needs to go in my calculator. So log 3 divided by 12 log 1.005. Okay. Wow. All right. I feel like something went wrong with this. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay. Yeah, this answer makes no sense because it would basically mean that this would happen in less than, I don't know, maybe a day. I just realized I never put my denominator in parentheses. So hold on a second. Let me clear that mess out and try this again. See, you make mistakes. It happens. All right, divided by, now I notice I started a set of parentheses here. Let's do this one again. All right, 1.005. All right, I always put parentheses in the wrong places here. Whatever. Okay, so 1.005 and close that. Oh, that looks so much better. All right. By the way, if you could find a bank account that was offering 6% interest and could triple $500 in less than a day or two, go ahead and invest that money. It will be well worth your time if you've got it. However, this is actually more reasonable. This is approximately 18.356 years. All right. Yeah, that actually makes a little bit more sense when you look at you're only compounding it monthly and you're only dealing with 6% interest. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay, last one for this video about compound interest, and that's going to be, let's see what we got here. All right, we need an interest rate compounded daily. Let's see, we're going to invest $500 if you want to have $1,500 in 12 years. All right, so we want to end with $1,500. We're going to start with 500. We've got 1 plus, we don't know our rate, but we're compounding daily. So that would be 365 days in a year. So 365 times 12 years. Woo! That is going to be a big old exponent. All right. Divide both sides by 500. So 1,500 divided by 500 is 3. So 1 plus r over 365. And I have no idea what 365 times 12 is. So let's use a calculator. 365 times 12. 4,380. So we need to take the root, the 4,380th root of 3. Okay. And this is why calculators are handy here. So 4380. So that root and that power will cancel. So this is going to give me 1 plus r over 365. And yeah, there is no way my brain's going to tell me that root. All right, so math, I'm going to either scroll down to the nth root here, or you can just hit 5, either or. All right, so 4380, and then inside the root itself, I need 3. All right, so 1 point this is what we've got. So 1.000 and some other stuff. All right, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I'm doing that in the calculator as I go. All right, so 0.00025 and some more stuff, r over 365. So that means I need to take both sides and multiply by 365. Okay. So that means that r is going to equal, so let's times 365 here. And now this rate's nice, okay? But I need to remember that it is not currently it's a decimal value, not a percentage. So I actually want to convert to a percent. I'm going to multiply by 100. So my rate is going to be 9.156%. Okay. All right. So hopefully that gives you an idea about how to work with that compounding interest formula. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and close this video right now, and then I'll pop up a separate video that will deal with the population growth to end these pages. As always, if you guys have any questions or concerns, drop me a message and let me know how I can help.